Right, back in the unit. I finally got the Imperial Allen key that I need to take off this grub screw that's in there. It's 3/32ths, which is round about 2.5mm, but not quite the same, which is why I couldn't get mine to fit. So the idea is undo that, and then the rest of it should start coming apart quite easy. It'll just all lift off, and then the wires in the back of there will need to be undone. But fingers crossed, get that done, and then I'll take the rest of the screws off here, around the top and around the side, that hold the main part of the dash in, and get that off, and then we'll have a look at the wiring in the back of there. It's probably going to be, well, it is pretty horrific, I know for a fact. As I said before, it was from when I put the whole loom in and then just separated it out around the car to get to the various places it needed to be. If I was doing it now, I would either start with a fresh loom and just lie it in, or do one from scratch, whichever would be easiest, I'm not sure. But for now, we'll take this off and then get the rest of the dash pulled forward and out of the way. Hopefully you should see it. It's a bit dark in here, well, but there's nothing much I can do about that. Today there's no woolly hat on either, because it's about 12 degrees in here, which is absolutely sweating for me compared to what it has been. It's hard to see, but that's the back of the dash. Lots of relays, switches. It looks a bit of a mess, but it probably looks worse than it actually is, to be fair. There's a lot of stuff just looping from one place back to another, and there's only a certain amount of multi-plugs, as you can see here, so it's not too bad. There's only the odd wire that's connected to stuff I've had to put in afterwards. Whether I could put some of them on multi-plugs as well, would probably be not a bad idea. Stuff like the fuel pump switch there. But it's all fairly logical and labelled, but it's just a bit awkward to take on and off, and it looks worse than it is. But I need to sort out this bit in here. There's some relays for the coil and the ECU, and they're the bits that are running out of power. I had wires going direct in rather than coming from here, which is the coil and the ECU cable. It goes straight from the battery to the coil and ECU cable there, that obviously goes to the coil and ECU. So it was in this part of it that I was losing the voltage for some reason. But yeah, I'll have to have a look at that, but next job will be to get the main part of the dash off. my memory had failed me, and I'd forgotten to realise that, or hadn't realised that these aren't screwed into anything captive. There's a nut on the inside of the engine bay, and it's normally a two-person job to undo them because you can't reach very easily. Hold the nut on the underside under the scuttle panel and undo that at the same time, but I'm here by myself, so that's something else that needs to be made captive when I put it back together. It's never ending. Definitely going to make those captive before it goes back together. So as you can see, I wasn't exaggerating when I said it was a mess. Again, it's worse than it looks because everything's just all separated out and then just wrapped up to keep it clean. It does mean that it's going to be a little bit tricky to trace out the wires I want and get rid of them, but it's something that needs to be done. But yeah, a lot of it is this extra wiring you get when you buy a gauge or something. It's all pre-formed, and you're going to put it somewhere, and like all this for the stack, it's got to go somewhere, so you just shove it in the back and cable tie it up. The actual wiring loom isn't that massive. There's just a lot of it. I mean, obviously there's two wiring looms in here. There's the main wiring loom for the car, and then there's a separate wiring loom just for the ECU. A lot of that's tucked under there in a shelf underneath the underneath like the bulkhead area, what would be. So that's what I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of the dim dip resistor because apparently you don't need it. So if I can get rid of that and simplify some wiring, it'll make life a lot better. It's not going to make that much difference, but every little might help. And then I'll try and work out what was going on with the wiring to the fuse box down there and have a look at redoing that. It's a bit of a, you can't really see it's behind the gain up there, but it's, let's have a look. That's the fuse box in here. I separated all the wires out into individual ones rather than the double up as they are in the normal fuse box. So I need to try and remember what I did because it's nearly 10 years ago, and try and rationalise it and tidy it up as much as I can in the time I've got. Concentrate on doing this while the fixed. Right, time to sit down, get my breath back, and have a look at the wiring, try and work out and remember what was what. Back again, Sunday afternoon. I spent this morning enlarging these holes at the top edge of the dash, so I can put riv nuts in, and I've also been doing some work on the wiring. I've taken out a little bit and I've solved, I think, what was the issue with this main part in here where the incoming power was coming in. I've rerouted it basically to the relays for the ECU and the coil pack and stuff like that. Hopefully it should solve the problem of it all running out of voltage. It's separate now. There was too many power takeoffs from the ignition live, and I think that was the problem. I did a quick test this morning and everything can need to works. Indicators, lights, hazards, all that sort of stuff, wipers. So I think I'm just going to put it all back together once I got all the bits back from being repaired and whatnot, and it'll be good to go. The only things I'm going to do is I'm going to move the flasher and dim dip relay that's over the far side. I'm going to put them underneath so you can get at them when you actually, when you need to, rather than being hidden behind the main part and having to take it all off to get it, hopefully, if it's underneath. If the flasher relay fails, then it'd be an easy one to fix. Well, it's not a flasher relay, is it? It's a flasher unit. Yeah, so if the flasher unit fails, it's an easy fix if it's underneath. Right, so the next job is just to put in these riv nuts, and you just put them in the riv nut tool, like so. This is going to be a little bit awkward. I'll have to turn it. It's awkward because of the windscreen. And that's it. And then just unscrew it. That one done. I've already done the far one. So that's that done. So this is the indicator flasher unit and the dim dip relay, which I'm going to relocate. I'm going to put them under here somewhere. I'll take this centre section of the dash out, put the main bit back in just to check I've got clearance under here because of the way it curves back under, and I'll make sure I've got room to put this. Strip the wiring loom back, pull these wires out to about here somewhere, and then just route them down beside the rest, beside the fuse box, and then underneath, and a couple of self tappers. Take these self tappers out and put them underneath. Hopefully it should be easy to get at for maintenance. Well, that's the wiring alterations finished. What I've done is I've moved the flasher unit and the dim dip resistor from up here, filled the holes with a couple of blanking grommets, and then moved it to under here. You can just see the red of the relay, and then just there, the end of my thumb, is the flasher unit. The wiring reach is alright. It's still not as neat as I would like it, but it's going to have to do. It all works, that's the main thing. And it's all protected by fuses in there and in the main central console, so job's a good one really. At some point in the future I'd like to get it all totally rewired, but no great hurry for that. Get it running first. Right, that's it for today. I'm going to have a tidy up, put my tools back in the car, go home and have some pizza. There's nothing much more I'm doing here for now. All I can maybe do is put the main dash part back in and poke all these multi-plugs through the holes, but that's it for now. I know everything works, which is the main thing. everything I need to works anyway. I'll get those parts sent off this week, the stack dash and the SBA Speedo, maybe Monday, Tuesday, get them sent off and get them back sometime after Easter hopefully. I don't know how long the stack dash is going to take, that's the only concern. I don't imagine this SBA Speedo is going to be too bad. So the next video will probably be, if I can get it organised, a roll and road session for Bumblebee. It's coming up, well, not this weekend coming, which is Easter weekend, but the weekend after is the Roof of England tour, and I'd like to try and get it down up before then, which means the Saturday only, but it depends if I can get it booked in with Jonathan at JDM. So that'll be the next one hopefully. If not, I'll be back to doing something on this. There's plenty to do still. As per normal, if you like these videos, hit the likes button, subscribe, hit the notifications, fire away with your comments and I'll answer them. Yeah, that's it. I'll be back next time. See you then.